Hello again everyone, and welcome back again for another video. Today we're taking a look at another case that I'm going to do a build in today. This is the ESGAMING Q06 W500 case. We'll take a look at this on the screen here in just a second. This one kind of caught my attention mainly because of this front here, which is kind of got like a little honeycomb thing going on here, but it is kind of vented in front there. Let's go to the screen real fast and I'll show you a little more stats on this before I give it my own assessment and rundown. All right. As we can see, this is a Newegg case. Goes for $41.68 with free shipping, so it's under $50, so pretty cheap here. Typically, when you see cheap, you get what you pay for. But, I mean, every once in a while, some of these surprise you, like the Sama. I love Sama. They're cheap, and they actually are pretty decent. But let's looking at the pictures here. This looks pretty cool here. It even comes with 420-meter 7 rainbow LED fans. Now, I knew before I even purchased this, because I know how this goes just by looking at the pictures of this fan. These are not addressable RGB. These are probably just 3-pin things. We'll take a look at that here in just a second. Let's see. Let's go to the specs. See if it gives you some specs on here. It doesn't give you shit for specs. What the hell? Overview. Yeah, it doesn't tell you how many fans it'll hold or anything like that. Here we go. Cooling system. Fans. 3 fans can be installed. Rear, 1 fan can be installed. Magnetic dustproof filter. Bottom. A defiant new look. Yeah, I don't know about defiant new look, but it does got a cool pattern there, which would look pretty good with some RGB going on here. USB 2.0, 3.0. So we got 2 USB 2.0, 1 USB 3.0. Now, why can't they do the opposite? Instead, give you 2 USB 3.0 and 1 2.0, or actually just ditch the 2.0 altogether. You know, I don't get that. But I mean, what's the cost difference? Stupid. Pre-installed 7 rainbow fans. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Filter. Yeah, it's also got a filter on the bottom too. It's kind of a shitty one of those little bendable ones that you can put on there. Length up to a 290mm VGA card can go in here. Internal structure, you can see we can get a couple hard drives here, 2 SSDs here, and of course the power supply will be here. Okay, model honey combo. Now, I don't know why on the model here on the product specifications they call it the honey combo. When you scroll up on top here, and according to this, it's the QOS W500. I'm going to call this the QOS W500 for the sake of builds.gg, and for the sake of this video, this is what the model is going to be for me. They can call it the honey combo if they want. That's what I'm calling it. But anyways, $41.68, decent price. Let's build in it. Let me cut this scene here, and we'll examine this case ourselves, and I'll give you a rundown. All right, I got the glass off the side here so we can have a look at this. Comes with a bag of stuff. Now, we'll start in the back here, I guess, first. This has got this, I actually took this off a little bit ago just to see what the hell this was. This is kind of an interesting system here. It's got like a little plastic thing that slides off there like that. I guess kind of a hinge system, if you will, that you put on there. There we go. And it closes like that, and you can screw that down. It didn't come with the screw, though. Huh, go figure. The back, these are the breakaway types. I don't care for that. And they do give you one, I think just one, yeah, one extra bracket here, which is black. Why didn't they give you a white one? Okay, whatever. Let's see, and they give you a little manual here. How to install guide, front fan installation, SSD, hard drive, how to remove the front panel, and fan connectors. Okay, we'll toss that to the side, don't need that. As you can see, we can get 3 120s there. Looks like we can get a couple of 140s there too. We'll probably do some 140s in this one. I don't know. I don't have any set plan for this, but you can see this comes with 3 fans right there, 1 right there. And like I said, and I was right, look at this. Here's our fan connector here. Oh, god damn. It's a Molex. Molex. Look at this. You got 4 Molex things all plugged into each other, and 1 for each fan. So these are absolute shit fans. Not even going to bother with those. I'll just take those out and throw them in the trash. These are, I don't know if they'll make different patterns or whatever. Usually on these ones, you power them on, and it's just like multiple colors that stay stationary. I don't know. I'm not even going to show you because these are just useless. But we can get a total of, looks like we can get a couple fans down here too, actually. So we can get 8 fans total in this. Now this is an interesting grading here. It's kind of like wide in some of the holes. Some of the holes are small. Kind of a cool pattern, but I don't know about, breathability on it. But, yeah, whatever. We can see our SSD will mount right here. And this is actually kind of popped out a bit. Let me grab an SSD real quick so you can see that it would actually, I guess, go in this way. Like that, if you will. Which looks kind of tacky, unless, I guess, you take it and bring it out this way. But then that might destroy your clearance. Or maybe that's why they did that. Maybe that's out like that so that you have a little more gap in here, which would make kind of sense, I guess. And looks like it wouldn't interfere if you did go with some 140 millimeter fans. I don't know about an AIO, but yeah. All right, let's see. You can see there's a opening here, a little something sticking out there. There's some kind of, I don't know what this goes for. Now this right here, you can tell this is where the fans would screw into. These 4, but this right here is something else. I'm not sure what that is. Let's flip this around. Now here's the front of this. Now I did take the grill off, or not the grill, but the front bezel off here, and here that is. Now this one's kind of cheaply constructed. Look at this right here. You can see it kind of comes up a little bit here, so they didn't really tack that down too well. I'm not really too happy with that. I might have to get out the glue gun just to kind of reinforce that. They could have done a little better job with that, I think, but pretty lightweight, nothing on top of it there, so yeah, it doesn't interfere with any of your cables and stuff. You got several openings here, of course, to run your wires through. Let's see, look on the back here. Let's get this out of the way. Let's check out our, how many openings we got. 2 pin stuff now. 1, 2, 3 here. 2 here. 2 here. 2 here. 2 here. So a decent amount of tie down points. And what's this? Hold on here. This unscrews. Oh, I know what this is. This, let me tilt this so you can see this, is where your hard drive would mount. Kind of an interesting system. So it leaves this open here so that you can get like your cables and stuff for your power supply. Yet you still have, a place to mount your drives. That's pretty interesting. So down here at the bottom, we can see there's some holes right here. So what you would do for your 3.5 would mount your 3.5 on the bottom using these little holes right here. That's the way it looks. Anyways, let me take this out. I'm kind of curious about this. All right, there we go. It comes right off. And
will that hold an SSD as well, or is it just a 3.5? Let's see. Let me line this up here. Yeah, it looks like our holes line up there and there. Let me check this out here. Sorry, guys. Line up that hole and that hole. Yep, you sure can. You can get another SSD on this top plate here. This is kind of an interesting system. I don't know if I want to put anything in there, though. I'll probably just leave that the way it is. Wow. Okay. So next thing I want to check on this is our depth. Put this over here. Our depth on this to see if we can fit cable extensions, and what we'll need is 13 millimeters. Ooh. No. Looks like we are right at 11 millimeters. So I don't think, let me see if I got one here on the shelf that I could use. I don't think that's going to work out too well at all. Well, if it does, it's going to be a pretty tight fit here. It's a cable extension here. Pretty tight, pretty close. You'll have to be right up against it there. Maybe it might work. I bet it will work. I don't know. I think I can make it work. We'll see as we go along. Okay, let's see. Like I said, it's got a filter right down here. It's one of these cheapies. So what do we got on top here? We got, sorry, little filter going on right there as well. Yeah, pretty basic case here. This is kind of, yeah. So this should be pretty fun to build in. I mean, all these cases are pretty fun to build in. I dig how the SSD goes here, though. I'm meant to see how that works. Because I'm going to use, I think, a socket 1155 board on this one. I'm not going to put any new stuff in here, I don't think. Maybe I can do a new build. Nah, we'll do a socket 1155. I kind of want to get rid of that board anyways. And, yeah. And then we'll do some different RGB in here. Of course, you know me, I do all kinds of RGB shit in these cases. And if you hadn't noticed, lately I do a lot of these white ones. Look at this, people. A spammer calling me. Let me decline that. Alright. God, I hate calls like that. Anyway, so our ports right here. We got USB 3.0 and 2.0 there. Audio, just your typical. Pretty interesting. Alright, let me cut this scene here. And let me go check my shelf. Like I said, I think we're going to do an 1155. I might do a newer one. I don't know what all I have for parts to do a newer one. I got a motherboard. I don't know if I have any more DDR4 memory. Huh. But, yeah. Alright, let me cut this scene and let's commence with the building. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm doing a little bit of experimenting here. As you can see, I put 8 fans in here. And I was just checking out how this is all going to work. I also have a RGB bar in here. This is kind of like a gem looking one. I was seeing if this would work. I don't know if I'm actually going to go with 8 fans in this or not. But I did want to point out to you right here. Little hard to get to unless, you know, I guess you could take that fan out and do these first. But you kind of have to go at this one at an angle. That or else get like a smaller screwdriver. I use kind of a stubby one here, but they do provide you with 8 screws to put fans on the bottom here. Another thing to point out here is this configuration up front here. Excuse me, I'm a little drunk. So right up on top here, we've got 2 screws to start out these fans with, and you kind of have no choice but to use those screws on the top there, because if I can get around here, you can see this. Let's see if I can even it up here so you can see. 2 screws are right here, so they're going to go right about here. And that comes even with that front panel right here. So, yeah, if you want to put 3 fans in here, you're going to have to use the 2 screws up on top to get that in. Kind of a bitch to get in there otherwise, but yeah. And then right at the bottom here, I'll show you this. You can see where the bottom 2 screws go. There's kind of like one little hole there. You can't see it on this side. We'll flip this around here so you can see it on this back side here. Hold on here. But yeah, right here, one little hole to get your fans in on the bottom. So it's kind of a tight fit there on the fans. You don't have much room to move around. Actually, you don't have any room to move around when it comes to the fan, because sometimes, you know, a lot of these fans that you put like in the front of cases, you got a little bit of wiggle room there to kind of adjust it a little bit. On this case, you have to be pretty exact if you're going to put 3 fans in the front. Otherwise, let's see, SSD, I noticed, now I don't know if I'm going to put one up front here or not, but I kind of noticed that, okay, right here, on the right-hand side, you got a hole to screw it in. It would screw in like this, but if you wanted to flip it around this way, you can, but you're only going to be able to get to the 2 screws right there. You see this little opening here. In here, there's no opening there, so you'll only be able to screw down 2 ways right there if you want to put it that way. And I guess that would kind of be my preferred way. I don't know what I'm going to do with the fans or with the SSD yet. I might not, a little drunk, sorry. I might not even put in an SSD. I might just put in a 7200 RPM 1 terabyte drive for extra storage and then run it with an M.2. Still undecided on the board I'm going to put in here. My options on the shelf are a socket 1155, Dell, and a socket AM4 Ryzen. Now my Ryzen stuff is all ITX, and of course that's going to come to right about here, which leaves this big old gap right here. I don't really want to fill, I really don't want that gap, so I'm probably going to fill that in by using a micro ATX. Maybe I might just order a micro ATX board and put one of my chips in there. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But right now I'm still kind of in the planning phase, still kind of playing around with this case just to see where it goes. Like I said, I have no real plan of action here, but let's cut this scene. I'm going to dwell on this a little more. I'm going to finish drinking this. I think I'm going to go pass out for a bit and think over it overnight, and we'll get back to this build in the morning, and then we'll go to the next scene. Okay, so now that I've sobered up and I can continue on with this, I've done a little bit more work to this case to work on our RGB a little bit here. Now what you're looking at is actually that little window in the back there where the power supply would mount. You know, your power supply would mount right here in this area. You can see an RGB strip that I put down in there. I'm using JST type connectors. Let me grab one here real quick so you can see this. JST connectors on this. And then I have some splitters, or not splitters, but connectors that will convert it to like the 3-pin stuff right here. Now, initially I was going to use like the 6-pin stuff, but I kind of want some PWM going on in this one, so I'm not going to use the 6-pin because that you just really don't get the PWM control. So that means I kind of had to change out what I'm going to do with my RGB. Like I said, I'm going to use the JST here. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to reinforce this area right over here in this corner where I got my thumb, and then over here in this corner where I got my thumb, and then right over here, if I can point to this where it starts, and then down below here, I don't know if I get this in the camera without my hand being in the way, right here where it starts. I'm going to reinforce right there with some glue from the glue gun so that those will hold firm. This always creates a pretty cool effect. And then I'm going to do like you've maybe seen me do in a couple other videos. I'm going to take the power supply and I'm going to put some vinyl wrap on the side there so we get rid of that plain black looking, you know, ugly thing on the power supply. And then we could dress it up there a little bit. So, all right, next scene, guys. Okay, now that I got that little hack done, I can carry on with the rest of the build, and I just wanted to show you this real fast before I carry on. As you can see down here, I have this filled in nice and white. I have the power supply end, and if you couldn't tell by the sticker that we got going on there, I decided to do a Ryzen build. What the hell? I'll save the 1155 board for something else. But anyways, this is just vinyl wrap is all this is. Here it is. It's a roll of Vivid. I got it like in the what is it, like 6-inch by 5-foot roll, which comes in just perfect when I go to do these. So yeah, pretty simple hack. Like I said, I've shown that before. It's just a matter you lay your vinyl wrap down over the power supply, trim your ends, lay whatever decal you want in there, and voila, there you go. And you can get it pretty much in any color you want. So, I mean, whatever color case you got, you can pretty much color match for the most part. Like I said, I got that RGB strip going in around this area here. So when this powers on, this is going to light up around here. And next I'm going to put an RGB strip here. Now, basically, all I'm going to do here, let me adjust my camera a little bit here so we're more in the scene. This end right here is our input end where our RGB signal is coming from. So we don't want to mix up this end and this end. This end's an output end where we can actually extend it out and put more strips in. Now, this strip here, I have my input end right down here, and it's actually going to go through the back. My output end, which is going to plug into this, is right about in here somewhere. I could probably reach down there with my finger. I'm not going to try, but yeah. But anyways, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this right up against the wall here so you can see this. And right about there, I want it kind of hidden so that way our first LED is going to come right there. And I'm just going to take this, let me pull this back, and measure out how much length I need on this. And stop where I think it should be, right there. Okay, so let me get my finger out here, and I'll put my finger on this one. And I'm just going to take it down here. 1 second here. Change my camera. Now you see these little dashes right here? This is actually where you can cut. So right on this line here, I'm going to take my razor blade, or you can use scissors on this too. I just don't know where my scissors are at the moment. They're in here somewhere. I just didn't feel like looking at them, and the razor blade was handy. There we go. Nice little cut right there. Then we can go ahead and peel this off. 1 second here. See, now I have no fingernails because I'm a nail biter. I admit it. So I have no fingernails. But, yeah. But somehow I always manage, eventually, to get this peeled off. And if I can't, then I'll use my razor blade here to kind of pick it back. There we go. And I just start out by peeling just a little bit first. That way it's easier to line up that way. And I put it right on that edge there. Perfect. You just do this a little bit at a time. Kind of press down as you're going forward here. Pull that back a little bit. And you should get a nice even line here. Now you don't want to go outside of that line because that's where your glass is going to be. You don't want this hitting the glass. But yeah, just like that. rest of this out here. And then when I get to the end here, I'm not going to go all the way with it to the end here because I'm going to leave a little bit hanging there so I can stuff that back in there. But, sorry, I had that thing up there. I got my strip in here now. And sorry I fucked that scene up there. I didn't realize my camera was tilted down still, but yeah, I got this on. So if I want to, I could put a strip over this way too, and I've got several of them. Don't want to use this one no more. If I wanted to reuse this strip for something else, see, this is actually an output end. I would have to do something with this right here. And I do have some connectors up there on the shelf if I wanted to make like a little RGB strip for this. But we're just going to toss this in the trash over there and get out my roll of RGB stuff here and unwrap it. Now, for something like this where I'm doing two strips here, I'll have to use something like this, which is a JST splitter. This is connected to that there. But it's going to be the same procedure. Well, I'll put it right there so you can see this. Actually, tell you what, let me take the case and we'll tip the case this way so that it's easier for me to do. Okay, let's see. So again, make sure you got your input in right here. And we're going to take that, and I'll just move this out of the way here. Down there. So that we know where to cut. Right there. One second here. Okay. Got that cut on that end. See, I always like to start with the end. When I take my tape off of this, I start with the end where I'm going to start tacking down at. I mean, right here I could take it off and it would be a lot easier to take off, but when it comes to tacking it down, 1 second here. I said I have no fingernails to do this. Okay. There we go. Peel it back just a little ways. And keep it nice and even as we're going down. Now you don't want to get too close to these holes right there where the fans go in, because maybe you might want to change your fan out. So keep that in mind. Sorry there. There we go. We got them both in. Now that they are both in, again, I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm just going to kind of reinforce this area right here, and maybe on the ends too. I haven't, maybe not. As long as it sticks, I think we're okay there. But yeah, I think we're all right. So let me lift this upright so you can see this. So what we have then is a RGB strip here, an RGB strip here, and then one around the perimeter here. Now I don't know if I'm going to keep these fans or not. It's kind of a crowded case already with those fans in there. I don't know. I guess we'll see how it's going to look when I put the motherboard in there. Shouldn't be too hard to get the wiring, but I do know that before I do the wiring, I'll have to loosen these fans up kind of pull them out a bit so I can get the stuff plugged in and then put them back in there. And like I said before, in another scene, it's a little difficult, so you want to use a little screwdriver, maybe even something smaller than this, to get these. But yeah, it's coming along, guys. So next scene. Okay, so I tested the motherboard already, and that's all working and what have you, so I'm getting ready to mount it in there. Now, one thing I want to show you, and I don't think anybody on the internet has ever really showed anybody. They've talked about it. I know Linus has talked about it, but he's never really got too detailed about which screws you use to screw in the motherboard. The easiest way to do this, and I'll show you this here, is right here in this little tray. I got my little magnifier on here. Hopefully we can get this on camera. You'll see some different types of screws here. You got one like this. Look at the head on that. See if maybe we can turn that a little bit, where it's kind of rounded off. You got some like this, where it's kind of hexagonal looking there. The threads are a little more coarse. And then you have this type right here. If I can pick this up and show you. And you can see the head on it has got kind of like a little bevel on there. Now the best way to do this is just to get one of your spare little risers here for your PC, and then just try different sizes. Now the size we're going to use is this one, and you just want to make sure that this screws down in here easy. You don't want to put too much pressure on it. Sometimes it might be a little hard to manipulate because I'm on camera here and I can't see a damn thing in front of me because the camera's in front of me. But this is the one that we want to use. And you just want to screw it down into one of these just to kind of make sure it goes down in there. Now you want to go down almost all the way, and then you kind of feel it by wiggling it back and forth while you're holding the other end. See if it wiggles around. If it wiggles around, then it's probably not the right screw. It should feel nice and tight. So yeah, it goes in there just fine. So now we know that this screw here with the kind of little beveled head is the one that we're going to use to screw down our motherboard. So what I did here, if you didn't notice, is I kind of separated these into little piles so I know which is which. It's easier to pick them out that way. And a magnetic screwdriver really comes in handy here when you're doing this, actually. But yeah, this is just something I wanted to show you real fast. So let me go ahead and get the motherboard screwed down, and then we'll go to the next scene, guys. All right, more progress has been made here. I've got all my stuff installed so far. I decided to keep the bottom fans. They fit. I wasn't sure because of this Bluetooth Wi-Fi adapter here if that was going to work out all right. But yeah, I had some clearance for that, so no problems there. As you can see, the fan's spinning up there, and if we look at our top screen here, we got Windows going. I just got to install a couple drivers here to get this all set up. But first I got to tackle that back there and all that RGB shit, which is going to be fun. Decided not to go with extensions in this one just because there's kind of limited space in the back there. I mean I could have got them to work, but I don't know. I just decided this build, and this is kind of one of like the first times I haven't done extensions. I don't know. I decided not to go with extensions on this one. I do have an RGB one that I could swap this one out for, and I might do that, but I think we got a lot of shit going in here already. Video card, as you can see here, this is actually a GT 1030. Like a lot of the other guys that build computers, I'm with the same glut that a lot of you are in when it comes to these damn video cards. They're just, the prices on them are just bullshit right now. And this is actually going to be a PC that I'll flip, of course, so I don't really spend too much on the video card. I figure the new owner, if they want to spend the money on one, they can do it, because yeah, fuck that. The prices on video cards right now are just ridiculous. GT 1030s ain't too bad, and I actually bought, God, about a dozen of those a while back. So I've got a nice supply of GT1030s to use, and that's probably what I'm going to be using for the near future, because from what I can tell, from what I've heard, from what I've seen, the issues with the video card prices ain't going to get much better. In fact, if anything, they're probably going to get worse, which really sucks, because I'm still waiting for that 3000 series for myself, and one day I'll be able to afford it. But anyway, so now that we got this taken care of and it's booted up, everything's looking good so far. Memory and CPU colors are there. I guess it's time to move on to that back part there, and this is going to be kind of fun because I mean, we've got 8 fans going on here, and on this board, let me flip on my other light here, and we'll bring it over here so you can see this. Over here in the back, I'll cast my light over there, you can see there's only one header there for the chassis fans. So of course I'm going to have to use a splitter on that, PWM splitter. This board isn't really made for like tons of fans. This is a what do you call it? Asus what is it, A320, whatever. It's one of the cheapest boards you can get. So I mean, it's not made for the high-end CPUs. I mean, the VRMs aren't the greatest. This has got a 2600 Ryzen in it right now, which is you know, a pretty decent CPU. And that's probably all the higher I'm going to go on this. Like I said, this is going to be a flip. And really, the main reason I'm doing this video isn't so much for the computer that's going inside here. It's actually to focus more on the case itself and building in it. So, you know, whatever. But anyways, let me go to that back side there. I'll cut this scene here, and we will tackle that shit. And then we will put the covers on this on all the sides. Check this out, fire it up, and that'll be the end of this video. Well, alrighty, back parts all taken care of, everything is done, and I put the what you call the plastic sheet down a little bit. I got to put it back up there. I usually don't do the peels, but I wanted to show you this. Let's see our boot up here. Check this out. I'll push the power button there. Looking pretty good there. Let me go around the front there so you can have a look at that honeycomb effect that's going on. Let me back it up a bit. And we'll take a look at the inside there. Let me flip off the light real fast. This is really pretty, actually. Really pretty looking there. You can see my Ryzen thing going on there. And up front again, we'll see that effect, and up on top. Now I have this set with the RGB controller that it's controlled by the reset button. So if I hit the reset button here, where is it? It's kind of dark. There it is. You can see it do different effects. It's got I think it's 13 different effects. Let me back it up here a little bit. There's kind of a marquee effect you got going on there, and I think it changes colors. Yep, there it is. Changes different colors there with that. And this is just solid color changing. And these are just solid colors that we're going through here. Blue, purple, yellow, light blue, and white. White looks pretty bright there. I like that. Again, these are dark flash fans. Now, the fans I'm using here, they have kind of a infinity mirror effect in there. I don't know if we can get that on camera or not, but if you look at the fans there as they're spinning, you can see kind of an infinity mirror. Let me take it back to rainbow there. So maybe you can see that. Maybe we can see it back here on this one. Yeah, really neat effect on these fans. I like the fan. Oops. And this is kind of loose here. Hold on. Got to tighten up my camera thing. There we go. All right, so yeah. And you can see the RGB that I got going on around this perimeter of where the power supply thing is. This is a really, really nice looking computer here. I should get a pretty decent price for this when I sell it. I don't know what I'm going to sell it for yet. I got to add it all up and we'll see. But you'll probably see this on eBay if you see this video here this week. So you might want to look for it if you're interested in buying it. I usually start my auctions out at like 99 cents and let it work up from there. And yeah, but anyways, so that's going to be it for this one, guys. Next one's probably going to be that socket 1155 I talked about earlier. I want to get that one out of here. I also want to get that DLM 21 case that I've had for a while out of here. So I'm probably going to put it into that case. And that's probably going to be my next video, I think. Unless something else comes up, maybe a laptop or whatever. But, yeah, that's going to be it for this, guys. I hope you enjoyed. That was the build in the ESGAMING. The hell's the model on this again? I don't know. It'll be in the description down there. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I will talk to you later. I will see you again in the next video. And have a good night.